Do we
Oh yeah,
update?
what was that, Hobo?
Do we update file? Or
I didn't have an option to. I didn't have an option. Huh. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but you chose. I did chose. Did I? I don't think so. Oh, I had the choice. I didn't. I didn't even notice it. Shit.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I mean, we never reuse these characters anyway. In all honesty, the only time you would do the update is if you're not max level, and we were at 14, so the chance of reusing these characters, because that's the character I was using right there. So, I mean, as you can see, we've done some, so we could use the level 12s if we needed to, but usually don't have to. And Mrs. Gimpy's
Some of you
calling.
should
Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Generally update if there's a part two. Yeah, if there's, like I said, it's, or if there's some modules, they come in parts. So the one will be like from level 1 to 5, 5 to 10, or at least as example. So you would finish the first one, get to level 5, and you update the character, and then it'll show up in your character list here as level 5s. So that's why we have some 12s and we have 16 there, which you didn't really need to do. We got. That's not my character. Paladin 1.
Some of you should clear out some of those old characters. You're just blocking names.
Yeah, that's okay. I like coming up with new names. It's no big deal. Because it's not... See, these are my personal ones. Do we have... I mean, those are the pre-builds.
Yeah, you can't erase the pre-builds anyway.
Yeah. Oh, there's Hobella. Wonder why some names are in here and others aren't. Like, why is Hobella in here? I don't. That might have been something else. But anyway. So anyway, you can keep characters. You can update them if you want, or you don't have to. But anyway. Don't know what we have for modules. Deep. The trade city of morals. Deep has been locked away. I don't even know what the... Vel Ode, that's the one we just did. War of the Reptile God. Let's see here, since your defeat of blah the cult of the Reptile God, you are lords and ladies of your own castle and have spent the last months hunting down the remnants cult remembers and blah blah blah. The invasion war is coming and you must prepare for a final invasion. Oh, starting level 11 to 12. That's got to be a part. They can't be right. 11 to 12. Yeah, player made modules are the best.
Come
Explorer,
on,
we did.
you pansy, get back in there and fight.
That one already. Oh, yeah. Interdimensional escalations. Did we do this one?
Sounds familiar.
Printed with a locked door as ways to force an ability check. The roll gadget will always be adjacent to the door and you can be highlighted. Okay. So level 1 to 12 campaign featuring multiple endings, open world gameplay with chapters, milestone based leveling, so skipping chapters doesn't leave you behind except for that sweet loot, and numerous ability check score. Yeah, I think we did that one. Can you co-op? Yes, co-op. Baldur's Gate 3 can't be co-op. But Hurricane and I are the only ones who have it, so it's not an option at the moment.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you do?
I have Baldur's Gate.
Okay. I don't know if
Uh-oh.
What?
So that means I have to grab it now?
No. Don't be doing that. I don't know if we want to do that. We'd have to have a long talk about that one, I think. Off stream. So
How many people can you co-op in that game?
4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If everyone's playing a character, the goal is kill the NPC companions the moment they want to join the party, and do none of their quests. No reloads, besides having a party wipe. So if someone clicks the dialogue option, we have to go with it. If someone walks into a fight, we have to do it.
Isn't that pretty much how we've been playing Solasta this entire time?
Pretty much, yeah. It's really that's not really what we need to talk about. Some other stuff too, as in do we read because it's a really long game, so you'd have to keep that in mind.
Oh yeah.
So especially if you do almost as much as you can do, even though you're cutting out stuff for the companion stuff, there's still tons and tons to do. So like I said, that's a serious. I mean, I realize we've been doing this on Fridays for a long time, so it's really not that big of a deal, but.
But you're committing to one character for a long time.
Exactly. Thing. You can respect
or can you switch characters while you're? Are you locked with one character, or can you switch around type thing between the 4 type thing?
You can always respect the character, as in change the class and everything. So.
Oh well.
So if you get tired,
you got quite a bit of flexibility.
Yeah.
You can change everything besides the race and. I think if you have a specific class, you can change the deity.
When you respect, you can do any respect, as far as I know. I don't.
Yeah, you can. You can change race and sub-race.
Right, but as far as you can change. Yeah, it's a possibility if you guys really want to do it. Just keep in mind it's going to be a long time before we finish it.
I would be up for it.
I mean, I'm not against doing it. It's just that it is something we do have to, discuss. So, I mean, but we have time. So,
I mean, I think the holiday sale just ended. I think there was 10 or 20% off.
Oh, well.
Or maybe they just made it Game of the Year in Steam Awards. Maybe it's some percent off.
Might be. Might also be able to grab it through like Green Man or Fanatical too. Those guys might have it on sale. Even Humble. Well, I don't know. Humble might. So I'm looking.
Baldur's Gate 3, $80.
Oh, don't get that version.
80 Canadian bucks. That sounds like the normal price.
Is it? Did you just grab that on Steam?
Yeah, I'm just looking it up on Steam.
Okay, double check then. I'll make sure it's the right version because there's different versions as usual.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's the sale for it's past.
Yeah, no sales at the moment, at least in the European Steam shop.
Yeah, Steam is showing it as not on sale, and it is $60 US. So 80 Canadian sound about right then?
Yeah.
Is that right? 60 to
Yep.
80?
Yep,
Yeah.
30% increase.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all you Americans' fault.
That just sounds bad, you know.
What's the digital deluxe edition DLC then?
Digital Deluxe DLC. It should say on Steam what it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
The DLC for $10 more.
Oh, never mind.
About this content. A little bit more. Digital edition upgrade content includes in-game cosmetics, such as unique custom dice skin to show off your friends, as well as a practical in-game items such as the Mask of the Shapeshifter, which I have but never use, from Divinity Original Sin 2. Doesn't do anything. Listen to the... you get the soundtrack, which is kind of cool. Keep in mind, I can say it sounds... It's good to have the soundtrack, but keep in mind, I didn't pay for the game. I got a key for it, so just to be honest there. It's
150 gigs?
Yeah, it's a huge game.
I can tell you right now what my folder says.
150 gigs.
It's a
It
huge
was one
game.
of the biggest downloads I ever did on my system.
Yep.
I know there are some bigger games like Call of Duty or Modern Warfare stuff there.
My download limit, I think, is 200.
Oh, really? So that would be your... So we wouldn't see Jeff for a couple of months after that one.
Well, no, it's like the surcharge is like very, very negligible. So it's...
Oh.
And I could always pay to bump it up for a month type thing.
Yeah,
So
my
it's
Baldur's
not
Gate
big
3 folder has exactly 140 gigs.
Yeah.
No mods.
It's because the game itself is big. There's lots of art assets, models, and that kind of stuff. And then basically everything is voiced too. And voice files are not known for their, to small sizes sometimes. So yeah, it's got a lot of stuff. A lot.
Well, yeah, I can free up the space, so that's not too big a deal. Just gotta get rid of The Witcher and some other junk I don't even play anymore. Yeah, I'm up for it.
Okay.
If it's good.
That's the
I assume
question.
it's
That's the question. Well, keep in mind it's basically the same as it's Dungeons and Dragons 5e, just like Solasta is. So
yeah, I caught some of your streams playing this game, so
yeah. So the basics are going to be the same. The main difference is there's more races and there's more classes to choose from. But it's kept down. Well, yeah, and also the combat is different, as in it's turn-based, but it's different. There's a lot more buttons to worry about that you have to learn. All the different abilities, all the different buttons that look like they're, in Solasta, it tells you, okay, this is hide and this is ready. Oh, and there's no ready in. Is there ready in Baldur's Gate 3?
No.
I didn't think so. So, so you got that kind of stuff going on. So, yeah. So it's not that it's bad. It's just that it is different, and it'll take a little bit of adjustment. That's for sure. But it's still, again, it's still turn-based. It's sneaking around a little different too.
In combat, you have a bit more options what you can do.
In reality, though, it's the same stuff. I mean, they like to say, "Oh, you've got all these things that can set things on fire."
It is time to take a break.
Shh. We're
Go
busy.
stretch your legs.
We're talking.
Your
So
next
for the
break
last-
is in 1 hour.
For the last hour until we stop anyway, if we start next week, what classes, races, what would we play?
Well, I have no idea.
yeah, I got 130 gigs left for the month. The month ends on the 10th, so this actually kind of works.
That works out,
I could
actually.
use up the rest of it, and then I can use a little bit for this.
That actually works out for
Yeah.
you. They didn't implement cover rules, lightning rules. Yeah, it's like they give you tons of choices to do during combat. Like, oh, you can, you can, you know, start a fire over there by throwing this and throwing that and that kind of stuff. But what I found is I got later more and more into the game. I stopped doing that stuff because it was just not. It really didn't make that much of a difference later in the game to me. You're better off using your abilities, you know, your best ones. You know, if you've got a sneak attack ability, you're going to use that most of the time instead of throwing fire at something because it's just more efficient, and you know, that kind of stuff. So
Now, the other aspect as well. Have you ever tested the multiplayer? Does it work
no,
well? Or
I haven't
no
tried
any
it at
issues?
all. I haven't tried it at all. So
Considering it's a AAA game, I assume it's good, or it works well. But
well, I would think so,
bit-
seeing that there's a whole cartoon series on it on YouTube.
They patched a whole lot of out of the game and also the multiplayer.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it is. I mean, we've talked about it first. I mean,
Okay.
when
Well,
it was
if you
first coming
guys
out, we were
wanna
talking about it. So
if you want to switch over Boulder Gate for next week, yeah, I can make that work.
yeah, because we don't have a module to go to. That's the problem. We didn't talk about it, grabbing any more, or I haven't looked at any others recently. Because I honestly didn't think we were going to finish it this week. I thought we had still quite a bit to go, but sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah.
Well, I'm good either way. Yeah, I guess the sooner we can come to a decision which way we want to go, stick with Solasta or go Baldur's Gate, then if we're going to stay with Solasta, I won't bother with grabbing Baldur's Gate quite yet until a sale or something pops up. But if you want to switch to Baldur's Gate for next week, I have zero issues. And like, it's a really good game. So at this point, like, all the bigger issues have probably been sorted out. So something I was meaning to grab at some point anyways.
Yeah.
So it would not be a big deal.
Okay.
Just need to know either way.
Yep. Yeah, we can. Well, is Hobo up for it? You have the game already, but is Hobo up for doing it on Fridays instead of Solasta?
Yeah, either way.
Okay. Skybird, incredible flexibility compared to
It's
computer
D&D.
And you will find your stabby something.
Oh, you got all kinds of stabby stuff in Baldur's Gate 3. You've got choices.
Okay. I'll probably pick it up over the next couple of days and start working my way through downloading it then.
Okay. Yeah, keep in mind that, like I said, they do have more class choices. They have more races as well. As far as classes, it's all the same ones in here. There's nothing special. The main difference between the classes in Solasta versus Baldur's Gate 3 is the archetypes here in Solasta are customized to the Solasta universe. So you're going to see stuff here in some of the archetypes that don't exist in Baldur's Gate 3, but you'll see a lot of similarities, that's for sure. So,
Well, you can. What's the official word for it? You can class combo.
you multi-class.
Multi-class.
Yes, multi-class is that. Solasta has more archetypes per race or per class, yes, but the difference is those archetypes are customized to Solasta, so you won't see them in Baldur's Gate 3 at all. That was kind of the point I was trying to make. It wasn't
Maybe
so much
the same name for some of them. Like for the Warlock, there is also the Fiend subclass, but they work differently in Solasta
Right.
and Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, there's spells like Greater Invisibility is friggin' awesome in Solasta. It sucks in Baldur's Gate 3. Don't even bother getting it. It sucks. Don't even bother. Don't bother biting it all. And there's spells like that in Baldur's Gate 3 that, you know, again, there's some spells in Solasta are really good, but they're not so great in Baldur's Gate 3 and vice versa. So, and that's a learning curve there. They're just learning what spells, like I said. But Greater Invisibility, don't bother. Do not bother at all. It is not what you think it is. It is not what it should be. It is horrible. Only do your multi-classing in multiples of 4.
Yeah, for the trait that you get every 4 classes in one.
Oh,
Every 4 levels in one class, because you get a trait.
the archetype, actually. It opens up the archetype at, is it 3 or 4? It's the
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, if you level 4 levels in one class, you get that trait for that class. So if you only would do 3 levels in different classes, you never get a trait. You never can raise a stat or get one of those special traits.
The feats, or what we would normally call a feat, I guess, or whatever. I don't. It's a feat, and yeah.
Now, compatibility-wise, there's no DLCs yet for Baldur's Gate, is there? Or anything like that?
Say that again.
No.
There's
And
no
I-
DLCs for Baldur's Gate
No,
yet, as
no,
far as I'm aware?
no.
Okay.
I
So there
don't
shouldn't
think
be
they're
any
planning
compatibility
for-
issues.
Nope.
What was the second question?
There would not, or I guess you would only run into compatibility issues because that game supports mods too, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Oh, but I'm not. We won't worry about mods. I don't think so. I mean, I haven't used any, so I don't know what's out there, and I'm not sure unless somebody knows a really good mod. But if we do that, I have a feeling we're all gonna have to use that mod. So I don't know how it works as far like Solasta is. If I'm running it, you guys all get it, right? So, and I don't know if Baldur's Gate 3 works that way or not. So,
I
Now,
think
for
the
playing
first-
the game, would we be joining your game, or do we need like a server to play off of?
I believe it's running off of my PC, which won't be a problem.
Yeah, someone has to host the game and we
Yeah.
can join.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay, no, I'm just wondering. I'm just asking the question. So, okay.
I think at the beginning the first mods were quality of life for inventory stuff, but I think with the last patch, even now you can, if you're in your camp, you can sort inventory of every character, not only the ones in your party at the moment. That's really good. That's base with the game now.
Oh, is it? They finally changed it?
Yep.
Yes, it's peer hosted. It's a peer hosted game. Yeah, it doesn't run on server. And there are rumors of DLC or some minor expansion in the works, but no details, just rumors. Yeah, I think you're actually the one that brought it up to Spirit earlier, like about last week sometime. Or
How much game time do you think we'd get out of this?
100 hours easy.
Oh wow. Okay.
I would say what we've played so far on Solasta since the multiplayer came out, that we will get again. Just for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah because there's tons of stuff to do. And it's not even based. That's not even directly connected to the companion quests that are out there. There's so much stuff to do. It's crazy. And,
But I would assume since there's so much to do, you'll get level capped quite quickly.
not quickly.
case?
No, because you don't gain experience at the same rate as it does in Solasta. It's definitely slower. And the level cap is level 12. And I actually in my first run, I hit level cap inside of the city of Baldur's Gate, so not even close to finishing the game. I hit level cap. So
that's not good, is it?
no, I don't think so. That's one of my beefs against the game. Because they give you all this content to do, and then you end up with being level capped at, you're not even close, like 3/4 of the way through the game. So, but I was doing a lot of that includes, the companion stuff too, doing those quests, and I don't know, and I honestly don't know.
How many hours in were you thinking? How long did it take for you to get level capped?
Oh,
How many hours in?
I was probably at level capped at somewhere around 80 to 100 hours, somewhere in there.
Okay. Well, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. No, I'm not. It's not. It doesn't just happen. It does actually. Like I said, I did hit level cap until I was into the city of Baldur's Gate, which is like Act or Chapter 3. Or is it 4? I don't know. But, yeah, it came up faster than I expected, to tell you the truth. So, it is Act 3. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is Act 3. And I was there, and I wasn't even close to exploring the whole city. Not even close. So, that kind of bummed me out on my first run. And because it's like, okay, you're at level 12 and you're capped out, so now what are you going for other than just working through the storyline? So
Yes, I have to think about people that just ignore everything and just go for the main quest until they see the credits. So they have to get somewhat the level they need for the last fight.
yeah. But yeah. But anyway,
And the party size is party of 4, or is it party of 6 and you get like a couple of additions?
it's
or
4.
something? Okay.
It's 4, but then you can summon creatures and stuff like that.
There's also the option, if you want to see in multiplayer with 4 people, some of the additional content that's tied to the companions. You can take an origin character which is basically one of the companions. So you can start, instead of a custom character, you can start with Shadowheart the cleric and Gale the wizard. And then you have the option to play their stories.
And
If you want to.
Yeah, if you want, but the problem, well, the problem with the companion stuff is the relationships between them and the main character. I don't know how that works in multiplayer and whether that's a big deal or not. So, and the reason I'm saying the relationships is how they react to you and stuff. So, but anyway, that's probably not an issue. I think we're just better off going with custom characters and going for
customs. It's more interesting, I guess.
Yeah, because that way you don't have to worry about what they're going to say that you may not be what you want to do. And again, I have no idea how conversations between the characters will work. Well, it's going to be basically the first person who walks up to an NPC to talk they get to do the choices, which is not a big deal because it'd be interesting to see how it's displayed. I'm guessing
and
it's going to be
there's
the same.
an option if someone starts a dialogue, everyone gets forced to watch it. And then there's an option the others can walk around and do their own dialogues.
No, let's not do that.
Yeah,
because you're missing out on stuff when that happens, so don't do that.
I don't know how it works if you have a priest and you start a dialogue. He's forced to watch if he can cast guidance. But if he's outside, not forced to watch, and you say, "Hey, I want to click this choice. Can you cast guidance on me before I click?" Then it works.
I have no idea how that's gonna work.
We have to test.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jeff wants to test some classes in the prologue, I'm up for it this week.
And Zombie says there's a mod out there that lets you get above level 12, but you can't keep leveling the same class above 12. So you'd have to multi-class. How many levels did it let you do? Do you know? Could you do like Ranger 12, Rogue 12, or would it top out at 20? It still tops out at 20. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll probably start like the download over the next couple of days, and then let's see, the 10th is a Wednesday, so I'll finish the download on Thursday, which works.
Yeah, that'll work. A level 20 character in Baldur's Gate 3 is probably sickly powerful. Because they're pretty strong at 12.
Well, he's still a level 12 fighter and maybe level 4 rogue.
Yeah, but still, doing that's at just a regular level 12. Because I was running, I think it was 8 and 4, 8 ranger, 4 rogue. I think it was, and that was stupid. It was stupid strong, especially with the illithid stuff behind you, or doing stuff. It was crazy, and I can only imagine what 20 is going to be like with so many more levels. So I don't know if that's a good idea. There's enough XP in the game to get to 20. I think the mod provides another option to increase XP gain so you can reach 20. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd want. Like I said, level 20 in that game is going to be incredibly strong, I would think. Especially with the walking around with worms in your head. How does the worms work in multiplayer? Do we know? I guess if you're working the storyline, you'd still be getting them. Or the tadpoles, sorry.
You have the limited amount that lies around. I haven't used them because I refuse to.
My second playthrough, I've been refusing to use them, and I've got 8, 9, 10 of them sitting around my backpack, something like that. I've been collecting them but not using them. Find tadpoles and any person can use them all and screw over the others. Yeah, there's that too. Well, is it really screwing over? Because you don't need them. I mean, it makes your life easier, that's for sure.
Interesting question is if we go for custom characters, if one wants to go Dark Urge.
No.
Okay.
I do not enjoy the Dark Urge at all. I think it's kind of stupid. It makes decisions for you that go outside of your control, and I don't like that. So I won't ruin the story for anybody, but there's a reason why I do not like it, and it just took my whole character decisions out of my hands, and it was just like, why? There was no choice whatsoever, and it's because of the Dark Urge. And so I will not be playing that again. So, yeah.
Yes, it's a specific storytelling part.
It's a specific mental issue that you might have in your own head if you want to do that stuff. Because again, the more I do, it's like only messed up people want to do this kind of stuff. I mean, in all honesty, it's really dark, and it's not. I mean, if you want to, be flexible, and if you want to do it, do it. But if you're trying to avoid that kind of stuff in your life, do not do the Dark Urge, because it is very dark, and it's like I said, and it takes control out of your hands too.
I guess the other part of it is, would be looking for a balanced party for this, or does it really not matter what type of party you have?
Actually, you're gonna want a healer. No problem. You definitely want a healer. Everything else is somewhat optional. Because on my second run, I was doing Paladin. Started with Berserk or Barbarian, but went to Monk, Rogue, and Cleric.
Yeah.
So Paladin as a tank?
Yeah, Paladin. Well, tanking in these games doesn't exist. In all honesty, it really doesn't exist. But you
can have a frontliner. If you don't have a warrior in your solo playthrough, you can make Lae'zel a really good tank. I started with an ancient paladin, and I go sword and board. I made him a shield and a main armor on the
I know. Yeah, I started the same way.
The nice forge down there, the legendary forge where you can make two parts for you.
Yeah, I did. I got the armor and the sword, and it worked really. It's working really well. You can tank in the game, but it's not necessarily what you think it is, because the way combat works is they don't have to pay attention to who the tank is. So
primarily positioning.
Yeah,
if you have a good perception of the room and what could happen, if you're good in positioning, you can tank with your tank.
Right, but in a lot of cases that doesn't happen though, because of the way some encounters start. And I mean, you can still try, but because sometimes based on the size of the rooms and again how encounters start, it can be challenging for sure. And in multiplayer, I imagine it's going to be more difficult because it's real easy to, if you're doing solo, it's easier to control where your characters are going and what you want to do. But in multiplayer, it's a little bit harder to control. I don't know if you guys have noticed that about Solasta, but you can't always control what somebody else is going to do. They're going to, because they're free to do whatever they want. So it'll be a little bit tougher in multiplayer to be an effective tank. Not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it's going to be tough. So just keep that in mind. But as far as doing, if Hobo wants to do stabby with an archer, shit, that's no problem whatsoever. This game has got to give you all kinds of choices for that.
Rangers are great classes.
Yes, Rangers are beasts, and mix in a couple of rogue levels in there for some sneak attack damage, and they're better. And, there's other special abilities you can pick up too. Paladins are friggin' strong, period.
Yep.
Clerics, so you have to be really careful on what cleric you pick because of their domain, the spell domain. Are they going to be life or whatever? There's different choices out there, and some of them are better than others, period. Some clerics are just great actually might be the right word, simply because of the healing that they can do and the way it works. It's crazy. I haven't really played a warrior so much, but
just throw potion against the head and you're good. Go with the war cleric. Heavy armor, better fighting.
I've had experience. The life domain cleric is a healing monster. And some other spells they pick up is really good too. So again, there's choice. It's personal preference in some of the stuff. The only class I would say let's see. Druids are disappointing if you're doing main character as the druid. But when you're doing multiplayer, there's really no main character, so druid might be possible. And why is druids not good? Because when you shape change into an animal, you can't talk to anybody. There's the downside to a druid in Baldur's Gate, because you can actually talk to animals. But the thing is animals can't talk to you unless you have speak with animal spells on you. And druids, when they transform into an animal, they can't talk, they can't interact with anybody. And the way the animal transformation works with druids in Solasta as well, is you only have so many charges or abilities, charges of shape change per rest or whatever it is. I don't know if it's short rest or long rest, but druids can be frustrating if you want to do a shape changing druid. And if you don't do a shape changing druid, your choices are not that great. They didn't do a very good job with druids in Baldur's Gate 3, I don't think. They don't give you a lot of options. Wizards and sorcerers, they're fine.
So what I'm hearing then is you need at least one healer,
Yes.
and the other 3, it doesn't really matter.
Pretty much. You want somebody that can open locks and disarm chaps. That's pretty much a gimme as well. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a rogue, but they definitely you need somebody to pick locks for you, because there's tons of locks and chests to open, tons of traps to. But again, it doesn't have to be a rogue, because
Basically, the one
Or a wizard
in
with
the
a knock
party
spell.
for
A wizard with a knock
yeah.
spell.
Wizard with a knock spell. Is there a knock in Baldur's Gate 3? I think there is.
Yeah.
But is it a cantrip?
No.
Or it's not, so it's charges, so who know.
Basically, the one in the party with the highest dex skill gets all the gear with the bonuses, and then every time you're in front of a trap or a lock, you can change the stuff, do it, and go back to your combat gear. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, I don't even bother most, because when for my lock picking character, is you make sure they have the appropriate skills and they have the high dex, and that's usually good enough. And then if you have a cleric with guidance, it's no problem for the majority of the game, until you start running into the ridiculously high DCs. But for the most part, it's not a problem. If you have somebody that's, got the high dex and the proper skills, it's not a problem. Knock does not address traps. No, it does not. Hey, Banner, welcome back. Happy Friday.
Crap. Thought you were supposed to walk through those.
Don't do that in Baldur's Gate 3. You will set everybody on fire. Oh, and that's another thing you got to keep track of, too, is the burning ground, the different terrains. There's acid you can walk through. There's fire. And, of course, there's water. Walking through water is not a big deal until somebody starts throwing lightning around. Then it can become a problem. But for the most part, no big deal. But keep in mind, fire and acid are definitely surfaces that you can walk through and they can do damage. Yeah, water for extra cold and electrical. Yeah, that's one thing that we don't have in Solasta is environmental concerns. But in Baldur's Gate 3, there are different environments that can do different things based on, say there's not oil slick, but a grease on the ground of some kind, or there's a barrel that's got alcohol in it. You can load that stuff up and watch things burn. So, and then you can do stuff like you can throw water on people that are burning to put them out, and you can actually throw water on the ground to put fires out as well. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. But
even equipment items that say there's a staff, and if you cast a spell while you're standing on water, you're doing extra electricity damage.
Yeah, there's that kind of stuff.
But everyone else that's standing in the same water surface will get electrified.
Yep.
So it's positioning and the right items.
Well, it's not just positioning, but it's also paying attention to where the water is as well in that particular situation, because it's not always obvious who's standing in the water and who's not. So you have to be really careful. Like, it's like, so Hurricane, suck in your gut a little bit. I'm going to be throwing this fireball in there, or that lightning bolt by it, just like we do in Solasta all the time, but you're going to say it a lot more in Baldur's Gate 3, because you do have to be careful, because if not, people end up, really hurt. So just be aware.
Well, you know me. Careful is my middle name. So
yeah. Well, my name. You know what my name is. Kill everybody. Doesn't matter who it is. It just happens. So. But anyway, what else did we discuss, Hurricane? I know I'm forgetting something about Baldur's Gate.
There's only 2 short rests per long rest.
Oh yeah, that. But that's not that big of a deal. because you can camp anywhere in Baldur's Gate 3, pretty much. There's only certain spots you can't do a long rest. And it's not like you have to go to a specific camp in Solasta. So between your long rest, you have 2 short rests, which is basically just a heal and gets back some abilities that are based on short rest. But to get spells back and, the longer stuff, you have to go back to camp and do the whole process, camp and that kind of stuff, eat up food and whatever. So you don't have unlimited long rests unless you have lots and lots of food to use during your long rest, which is a requirement, right?
I wouldn't say even food is the problem. Some stuff that happens or gets progressed because you do long rests too much.
Yeah, there's that too. But they shouldn't be that big of a deal. Because you have to do quite a bit. There's so much food around, too much. Yeah, there's so much food. I mean, it's all over the place. And if you pick it up just without thinking about it, next thing you know, you're gonna have tons of it. But as we finally learned, is when you get back to your camp, just throw all the food that you picked up into the camp storage, and you don't have to worry about carrying it around because it's only used up in camp, not out in the wild. So. Yep. So it's not, you don't have to carry it around with you. And once you get back to camp, it goes in the storage. So, and actually, you can even throw it into the camp while you're out in the wild.
Yep.
That's
right
the thing
click
too.
And send to camp.
Yeah. Yep. So you don't have to. If you're encumbered, it's just like just send it back to the camp and grab it later to sell to whatever or to whoever. So yeah, there's stuff. Anything else?
What would you like to play in a multiplayer session?
A dual scimitar wielding druid. I don't know why, but I like that character idea. I don't know why. I shouldn't, but I do.
We have a healer.
Well, you don't need a heal. Well, druids can heal.
Everyone can throw potions.
Yes, everyone can throw potions at each other.
That's a good thing. Everyone can be the main healer. Just throw potions. The one with the best stat in strength, I think it is, and throwing weapons. And basically, you're the best healer. If you can aim and people are standing close enough, you can multiple heal with a good thrown potion.
That's a lot of potions, though. That's a lot of potions if that's how you're doing your healing. No, I would say, as far as character to play, I'm guessing Hobo's going to go with Stabby.
You can say Rogue or Ranger, and they are great. Maybe even a class combo, a multi-class Rogue Ranger.
Yeah, Ranger Rogue.
Yeah, that works, yeah. And it was what Ranger did I play on my first one? The Shadow Ranger. I forget what the actual archetype is. They've got some really good abilities. And just like I said, yeah, for me, for my ranger, I picked what was the name of this? What's the skill that makes you be able to do all the lock picking and stuff? I forget. It's a different name in Baldur's Gate, but it's there.
The proficiency type, you mean it's not thievery? It's not what it's called.
I don't remember. What the name of it is, but it's there, and you can. So you don't actually have to be a rogue as a ranger, unless you want the sneak attack stuff. But you don't need it. But it's nice. It's a nice little jump in damage potential. Keep it in mind that it works a little differently. It works differently in Baldur's Gate 3, and that you actually have to have an advantage. I think it is in order for, or they can't. What is it?
Yeah, to get a sneak attack damage, you have to have advantage against the enemy.
Yeah, which means they have to be engaged, or you have to be invisible, or something like that. It's a little bit more trickier than it is in Solasta, but it's not that hard to do, and it works. So
as a ranger rogue, I think that should be easy.
It is. It's not. I'm not saying it's difficult. It's just it's a game mechanic that's a little bit more complicated than it is in Solasta. Because in Solasta, it's you get sneak attack as long as your target is either unaware of you, at the beginning of the combat, or they're engaged with somebody else in your party, melee-wise. So it's a little bit easier. In Baldur's Gate 3, it's like I said, it's got one more requirement in there about having advantage, and what that actually means, who knows? Exactly, who knows what it means? Other than, like I said, you're either invisible. I think engaged in melee with one or two more of your friends, I think counts as well. Pretty sure it does. But I think that's considered an advantage when they're being flanked. So, but anyway, it's a mechanic, and it's not, like I said, it's not super complicated. You'll pick it up soon enough, and but you just can't do it as a ranger. But you have to be a rogue, so that's why you would multi-class. That way you get all the fun stuff like the hunter's mark or the ranger's mark. Spell and that kind of stuff, and that works the same way as it does in Solasta. But other than that, I don't know. Hurricane.
So lockpicking and trap disarming is all clear.
Pretty much. I mean, if Hurricane or not Hurricane Hobo doesn't mind doing it, it's not difficult, but there's a lot to do. That's all. It'll keep him busy. That's for sure.
And the
So
druid
many
would be a
lords.
pretty good healer.
Fine.
You don't have to Hurricane or Hobo. Somebody else can do it. It's no big deal. As long as you got a good dexterity. And what was that, Hobo? Or Jeff?
And the druid would be a pretty good healer.
I don't know. I don't know how a druid's going to work out as a healer in Baldur's Gate 3. Because what I've looked at for the archetypes, it's very lackluster. I think clerics are superior, but
It's hurricane thinking then.
I don't know.
Sorcerer, barbarian, or cleric.
Okay.
Yeah,
Depending what we need.
I'm thinking probably like a front line for myself then. So either barbarian, basic fighter, or maybe even something exotic like a monk.
Monks are good. Monks have some really interesting archetypes, and they're pretty good. They're fun, especially when they start doing the little the first couple of levels is kind of rough, but once you get above level 6 or so, they start getting more interesting. It feels like so, and that's basically based on the archetype, from what I can tell. But they're fun. Let's see. So Jeff's thinking frontliner.
The fighters are crazy with the subclasses.
Yeah, they've got used. The two-handed weapons are ridiculous. So.
Or if you just go sword and board, and what was the fighter type you made Lae'zel in with the disciplines, with the different ones? The combat styles? Or maneuvers? I think maneuvers is what it's called.
I think it's maneuvers. Yeah, they get these little extra points to spend on doing different types of moves that you can do. They're good. It's a good mechanic, I think. It makes them a little too strong, but that's the way it is. Hey, Serranus, welcome back. Happy Friday.
Sounds like something different, so...
If it's standard D&D, then druids are crappy healers, kind of crappy everything. Druids are jack of all trades, master of none, plain and simple. We just finished this run in Solasta that we've just finished with the custom dungeon stuff. I was running a druid, a druid of balance, and it can do everything. It just doesn't do everything exceptionally, but it can do everything. And so if you like doing that kind of stuff, druids are great. I enjoy playing druids in Solasta. Hell, I even enjoy playing them in Pathfinder too. Just because they are, I know people like to criticize them, say they're crappy and whatever, because they don't do anything really well, but they do everything. So. Okay, so what was Hurricane going to say?
It's Eldritch Knight in Baldur's Gate. And those are cool.
Oh, Eldritch Knights? Yeah, we haven't seen those yet. Spellblade, whatever it's called, can bind to weapons and automatically recall thrown weapons. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Sure.
That's what I made Lae'zel with, a nice two-hander because my paladin's the tank.
Yeah, that's what was it? In my first run, was she was using two-handed weapons in my first run, I think.
But I think you used maneuvers with her.
Yes, I did.
That's not the Eldritch Knight.
No, it's not. She was just a regular fighter. I haven't tried the Eldritch Knight yet, or the Spellblade, or whatever zombie's talking about. I haven't tried any spellcasting warriors yet in Baldur's Gate. Haven't really had a chance.
Firing up Baldur's Gate 3, I now see there's another difficulty option. Honor mode, which is basically an Iron Man.
Oh. That's rough in multiplayer. That's very rough.
As long as one survives and can get back everyone to the camp and talk to the skeleton, hey, I need to resurrect them.
I don't know if we want to do that for a beginning run.
No, balanced. I would say for a first game, balance is great.
Yeah, it's because we're gonna have 2 people with us that aren't familiar with it, so we'll start with balance and worry about that later. First of all, you have to worry about characters that you really want to play. So we're guessing. Let's go.
If we don't have a caster type, I would play a sorcerer. If we don't have a healer, I play a cleric.
Okay.
Sorcerer or cleric. Or maybe a combo.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Because you're
Storm Sork Tempest Cleric.
A Tempest Cleric?
Tempest Cleric, he can wear the heavy armor, and then it's just me and lightning.
Yeah, I can do that. Maybe that could be interesting. I'm curious to how.
And he can fly.
He can fly. There's no flying in that game.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not flying, it's jumping. That's all it is. It's not flying. It's just a really long jump.
And I think the 3 best abilities there are in the game is Featherfall,
Yes.
Giant Leap, or Long Jump, what it's called.
Yeah.
And what's the Long Strider, which lets you move longer?
Yeah.
I had that on Lae'zel, and for her it was what was it called? It's like a cantrip, but she could cast it on everyone in the party, and it hold it until we long rested.
Yep, it's a ritual. It's a ritual long strider.
Ritual cantrip. It's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of broken, I would say. But yes, it's a thing.
I don't know if it still works like that. Yeah, so cleric, sorcerer, or even a combo I would play.
And Zombie saying play a 4 Warlock, 8 Paladin. Warlock Pact of the Blade, critical charisma to hit and damage, full Eldritch Blast because it scales with character level, not class level. At 7th level, Oathbreaker. Paladin gets more charisma to damage, and of course Paladins get charisma to saves. Double charisma to damage. Yeah, that doesn't sound broken either. Some of the stuff it's just so broken. But, you know.
Yeah, one of the really powerful combos is also Warlock Sorcerer, because charisma for both.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the combos that go to the Eldritch Blast, it's so overpowered.
Yep. Try to avoid those. Yeah, I have no... Alex said there's just... As far as character classes go, I don't know. Some other cheese I heard about with those henchmen. Making them casters with rituals and then having them cast on your main party before heading out of camp. Oh, that too. That's definitely cheesy. We're using them for the level 12 ultimate 1 cast. That's just, well, I'm not gonna worry about that. Anyway, so
yeah, the gift from the cleric god. Make every henchman a cleric. Use that gift. The mace is pretty good. The divine weapon.
We won't be doing that though. Anyway.
I did it with Shadowheart because it's the best choice for them, I think.
Oh. Okay, so next Friday we'll shoot for Baldur's Gate 3 with Jeff Hobo and Hurricane. Starting a campaign there, multiplayer only, balanced. Looks like Hobo will probably do a stabby of some sort or a ranger. Jeff wants to be a frontliner of some kind. Hurricane, either arcane caster or healer. And then me have to decide. I have no idea. I have to look through the classes and stuff again, just to get a good idea of what does what. Because I honestly don't know.
If you go wizard or something like that, I go cleric.
Yes, I have no idea what I want to do. So, except like I said, I haven't looked through every class, and there are all the different archetypes. I still haven't done that. So, I looked through them brief. I get in it with for this last run. It was like I wanted to do a paladin, or actually no, it was either a paladin or what was it? Crap, I forgot what I was looking at. I think it was sorcerer. Yeah, I wanted to do a charisma build or charisma based character for my main character because conversation choices very much influenced by charisma. So I was going to either go sorcerer or paladin. I ended up doing paladin, and my first run was ranger because ranger rogue actually, which that's usually my first go-to class combination stuff when I do these type of games, if I'm able to. Skybird, Mazel, the gift that keeps on giving. Yes, giving stuff you really don't want. It's weird I haven't decided for the second playthrough. Maybe Warlock, because I haven't done one of them before. Yeah, Warlock is tempting. Lae'zel is crazy strong especially if you keep giving her the gear that's meant specifically for the Gith. She can be really strong. Druid in Baldur's Gate 1 multiplayer. I cast a lightning storm when a monster charmed everyone else in the party so they were enemies. Yes, you killed the monster. Bad news, lightning saw everyone else as a target and you killed the party. Yeah, some spells. Anyway, what else?
There it is. For the Storm Sorcerer, after you cast a level 1 spell or higher, you can fly as a bonus action until the end of your turn without receiving opportunity attacks.
The flying. The jumping. Yes, it sounded shocking, Tyrannus. As Skybird said, it must have been shocking. So the whole party was shocked to death. Okay. Well, we can talk about this more too as the week goes on. But it looks like we'll do Baldur's Gate 3 next week and go from there. We're going to let Jeff and Hurricane go early today. We were going to stop at this time anyway, coming up, because Jeff has a little thing he wants to do with another game, and then Hurricane should get some rest because he still doesn't sound healthy. So he should go to bed before, it gets too late because it's only coming up on what? 1, 2?
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah, you should get some sleep. Get some rest. You stay up way too late. So anyway, if everybody's good and we don't have anything else to talk about, we can move on for the day and just call it an early stream. All good?
Oh, good.
All good.
Okay, so like I said, we're going to call the stream a little bit early today, and I'll do some research for a character for next week because I still really don't know. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. So again, I need to do some more digging. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming out. And once again, we did finish the campaign for, what is it called? Vel Ode to Yendor. It ended faster than I thought it was. I thought we were going to have a full stream, or at least close to a full stream today, but it didn't. We finished it. So anyway, that's it for today. So thank you all very much for watching. The stream schedule tomorrow is Saturday, so we're going to be playing some more World of Warcraft Classic. Sunday is Rogue Trader for the first half of the stream, and the second half of the stream will be the Treasure of the Midnight Isles DLC in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous with viewer group 12. Monday, probably more World of Warcraft. Tuesday, probably World of Warcraft. Wednesday, I think we'll be back to For the King 2 with Jeff and Hurricane, taking another shot at Chapter 5 there. And then Thursday, Rogue Trader, and then next Friday, change up, no Solasta, we'll be doing Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer. So, same group. Okay, that's it. Thank you all very much for watching. Tomorrow's stream starts at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT for some more World of Warcraft Classic. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, Meerkat, welcome back. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Have a great evening, great day, wherever you happen to be. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you tomorrow.